A sleeping child presents a picture of peace, but microscopically, a shared sleep room is a high-traffic intersection for dust, pathogens, and biological residue. Left unchecked, these environments harbor the unseen mechanics of cross-contamination, transferring skin infections, airborne respiratory viruses, and severe allergy triggers from one infant to the next. This is why Australia's National Quality Standards and Regulation 81 treat environmental hygiene as a strict duty of care. Proper sanitation protocols are explicitly tied to reducing the risk factors associated with sudden infant death syndrome. The challenge for childcare operators is achieving clinical, hospital-grade pathogen destruction in a space occupied by highly vulnerable, developing immune systems. Standard commercial cleaning chemicals ultimately fail this test. Heavy-duty agents like bleach and ammonia release volatile organic compounds that severely irritate an infant's sensitive respiratory tract. Leaning into natural alternatives offers false comfort. Aromatic, oil-based cleaners off-gas heavily in enclosed spaces, frequently acting as triggers for asthmatic and allergic reactions. Protecting these developing lungs requires a precise balancing act. Every product and procedure must be calibrated to neutralize biological threats without introducing chemical ones. The sleep room demands a contradictory approach. It requires ruthless efficacy against pathogens, executed entirely through gentle, non-toxic methods. Before any cleaning solution is applied, hygiene starts with physical infrastructure. Cots must meet strict Australian and New Zealand standards for structural integrity. Daily cleaning routines double as mandatory physical inspections. Staff check the timber and metal for failing bolts, encroaching rust, and splinters that compromise the frame. The mattress itself is shielded by breathable, PVC-free protectors. These barriers prevent moisture accumulation and mold growth, completely avoiding the toxic off-gassing associated with heavy plastics. When it is time to sanitize those surfaces, the chemical selection is restricted entirely to low-toxicity agents approved by the Therapeutic Goods Administration. For rigid frames, cleaners deploy quaternary ammonium compounds, diluted precisely to a 1:10 ratio to dismantle viral and bacterial loads with minimal human toxicity. For porous surfaces, especially after known soiling on a mattress, 3% food-grade hydrogen peroxide becomes the optimal tool. This diagram illustrates the mechanism of 3% hydrogen peroxide. As it interacts with the mattress fiber, it splits, converting entirely into plain water and oxygen. The resulting water and oxygen simply evaporate, achieving maximum pathogen destruction, leaving zero chemical residue. By selecting these highly specific compounds, professional routines leverage chemistry that works in tandem with infant biology, rather than against it. These chemicals are applied in a strict 3 to 5 minute choreographed sequence. The moment a child vacates a cot, all bedding is stripped, frames are wiped, mattresses are disinfected and left to air dry. Every fitted sheet and sleeping bag is instantly bagged for laundering. They must be washed at a mandatory 60 degrees Celsius threshold to guarantee the thermal destruction of lingering pathogens. Yet, the highest risk of cross-contamination doesn't come from the mattress. The most dangerous shared surface in any sleep room is stagnant air. Australian Standard 1668.2 dictates the necessary fresh air change rates for indoor spaces. Proper mechanical or natural ventilation is the primary defense against the transmission of airborne respiratory viruses. Poor airflow leads to a rapid buildup of carbon dioxide, which directly correlates to unseasonal drowsiness, reduced cognitive function, and higher infection rates in developing children. This chart tracks healthy environment thresholds. Primary axis carbon dioxide must maintain a hard ceiling of 1,000 parts per million. Secondary axis relative humidity is locked into a 40 to 60% safe zone. Dropping below 40% accelerates viral transmission. Exceeding 60% breeds mold. Delivering a truly sanitized environment means scrutinizing the invisible composition of the air with the same intensity applied to the physical cot. When physical infrastructure, targeted chemistry, and atmospheric controls operate together, the results in high-traffic childcare centers are immediate and measurable. Facilities enforcing these daily spot cleans and scheduled monthly deep cleans consistently document a sharp decline in child and staff absences caused by gastrointestinal and respiratory illnesses. Proactive maintenance routines, such as rotating mattresses and replacing HEPA air filters, guarantee ongoing regulatory compliance long before an inspector walks through the door. The philosophy behind professional childcare hygiene relies on a simple premise. The safety of a space is defined just as much by the harsh elements it excludes as the cleaning methods it employs. Proper sanitization isn't achieved by covering a room in overpowering industrial fumes. It is built entirely on the quiet repetition of proven scientific protocols. Ultimately, a perfectly executed hygiene routine leaves absolutely no footprint at all. It leaves only a clean, secure sanctuary for rest.